Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to another webinar of People's Path to Progress. My name is Alishba Tayyab and I am your moderator for today's session. So at People, we aim to empower and educate HR professionals across the globe. And today we are going to do the same with a very interesting and amazing topic, which is your employee's journey in an organization. From their onboarding to offboarding, how can we create a seamless journey for an employee? So today's session is not just important for HR professionals. I think it's also very important for the employees so that they can know what to expect from their HR professionals when they are signing an offer letter. So we have two very amazing guests with us. Let me introduce them and then we can move towards our conversation. So first we have Doua here with us. So Doua Alqurashi here is a seasoned HR professional with over a decade of experience in very big multinational companies. She has done her master's from Human Resource Management from Brunel University, and currently she's the director of HR in a Saudi-based company. And then we have our own Shahrukh Mirza Saab, who is a Corn-Hay certified HR professional with over 30 years of experience in not just local but international markets as well. So let's welcome both of them. Thank you so much for joining us today and taking the time out for this interesting session. I think it's very important to talk about these things because as the trend is shifting more towards contingent workforces, we are completely forgetting the employee's journey in an organization because we are more focused on getting the work done, right? So we hear a lot that whenever an employee signs an offer letter, they're often confused about what's going to happen to them next, like who to report to, what's their goal in the organization, how's their journey looking like, it's a long term or short term. So all of these questions come to an employee's mind. So let's go to you, Doua, to understand, because you have created wonderful, employee engagement programs, and you have, created so many strategic talent acquisition strategies as well. So I would want to learn more from you. How do you think these programs can better improve our onboarding processes?
Thank you, first of all, for the introduction. I really appreciate being here and being part of this amazing subject. So let me tell you something. This is one of my major objectives in this company, in my previous company as well. I had this pleasure of being part of, we call it employee experience. Employee experience is, as you mentioned, since the employee not actually join, since he have this phone screening, we are keen on delivering the best, as you can say, branding for the company. And this will be through employee experience. So in the previous companies and this company, they have this amazing program, which is goes under succession planning. So we call it like junior leader or frontline leadership. It has many names, but it has one objective, is to engage the employee from day one, to let him feel that he's part of the company and he will grow in the company. And this will happen through having this, as I mentioned, small program, which indicates since day one, he will have this objective, what he needs to do. In this department that he's with, we actually have the ability of saying, for example, Dua will be this year as a team leader, next year supervisor. It depends on this competence or what you need to do in these 2 years or 1 year, depends on the program duration. So me, thank God, I witnessed many success in this young generation. As an HR, I really believe in young generation. You cannot imagine. They have big power. They are very courageous. They have zero patience, which we can direct actually, because once they come, they want to be something big. So we guide this energy and try to direct it in the right way. Of course, for me as Dua, it's very important in the onboarding journey to link it with the company strategy. So I have this experience when, for example, you have this induction. We usually show what is our strategy, HR strategy in this year. Either it is competence, training. We have this also surveys we do after he completes 6 months, because in Saudi, probation period was 3 months. Now it's 6 months. For me, 6 months is excellent. This will give the new joiner a time to understand the business and it will not be pressured.
Perfect.
So by guiding them, Yeah, and giving them this feedback also. We have this survey feedback. It helped a lot, believe me.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
this is a summary.
Great. Thank you so much, Doua, for these insights. And Doua mentioned a lot of things, but I think there can be other key elements as well, right? So, Shahrukh, coming to you, what do you think are other elements that we can add when we are onboarding a resource?
Yes, first of all, thank you, Dua, for sharing the experience at your end. It sounds like you have a very structured program
Yeah.
for orientation. I think we can also make it more personalized. HR has the ability to, do things formal and informal. So my perspective is when somebody is joining firsthand, a new joiner, even before they join, we can break the process into 3 steps. Namely, we can have a pre-boarding phase, we can have a onboarding phase when they join, we call it the date of joining. And we can also have a post-boarding phase in the third instance, and some of the things which Duha mentioned, like the survey and the feedback in the 6-month duration. So I'd like to just briefly mention about the pre-boarding, because that's even before somebody is on board. The relationship is already started even before joining, if you allow me to say. And so it becomes very, and it becomes very important at this phase to approach the person with a personal email, for example. It could be like that, where you actually tell them a little bit ahead of time. In terms of, before they come, we have arranged their email, for example, already. We may have told them about the parking facility at the head office, where they can park, share the Google PIN with them. We can also, let them know who's going to be their mentor when they come in. Usually that's somebody from the HR office that's going to welcome them. So I think in the pre.
Yeah, we usually send a welcome email which have all this information. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's exactly what I was thinking. So the person, when they land on their first day, by the way, we also give them a e-visiting card. So the security guard at the gate knows that this person can clock in and come in. So all these measures actually just add to the pleasant experience of coming on board. And the rest is, of course, history, as we all know.
Yeah. So Doua, coming to you, so you have such a great program already in place for onboarding. So I would want to learn more. So once the employee is there, what are different activities you can do to ensure retention? Because that's the main goal of any company, so that the employee would stay, they would retain, they would grow within the organization. So what are the strategies for that?
I witnessed both period because when I was a young HR, I worked with a company that once he comes the first day, he actually doesn't know, as you mentioned, who to talk with or what is next, where his office. These small things matter. So to make it more structured, we have like an induction. It's depend on the company. The induction period can be from 3 days to 1 week, which will let the new joiner feel the company, feel the values. What is the values? What is the department? Yani what kind of company, like clients, profit, will give them this information, and believe me, they get engaged because since day one, you consider them a part of the team. One of the biggest thing also, all the new joiner even mentioned in the feedback, that's why we take advantage of it. It's like when I sit in my office, the line manager need to come to me, need to give me tasks. So this kind of very important notes we mention and we push the line manager before even he arrived to prepare. From our end, we are preparing job description, what kind of department he will be in. The line manager need to go. And because we have this amazing system. I work with SAP, Oracle, and Workday as well. So this kind of system, believe me, it's big help since the new joiner come. He will have his own profile, his own information, and he and his line manager can sit down and set their objectives in a very professional, documented way. And this kind of task, many in the survey, they said we like a company that is structured and we want to know what we will do. And at the same time, what is our career development? So I told you, young generation knows everything now.
It's
They are demanding.
such a
So
good.
if they see
Yeah.
this kind, yeah.
No, Doha, I was just adding to what you said that it's really a very powerful tool to give the job description for a new joiner from day one. It's a best engagement tool, in my opinion.
Yes. So, Dua, I would just ask you a follow-up question in this. So, you're mentioning that basically we're automating these tools, right? So that something is not missing out. They already know where coming. So, how do you feel the extent of automation is good? Like, do you feel like, do you still need people engaging within this retention period, or you think automation is enough?
For me, as an old and new HR, always communication is the best tool for me. Automation is a tool to help you to document and identify the gap or drag report. But for me, communication is the best tool. I always mention to the line manager, you can easily, as a line manager, put things in the system, but it's better to sit face to face and discuss further. This is what I teach, actually, the line manager and the team members. Communication for me until now is the best tool.
Being an HR person, I think it's very important to actually sit in and communicate with the resource. And coming to you, Shahrukh, with the same question, that what do you think are the key factors in retaining an employee in the organization?
Yes, I think everything leads to retaining employees, of course. They're the asset for the company from day one. I think, and if you open any textbook or if you ask AI, Chat GPT, you'll get the same answers, of course. They'll start with the comp and ben. We're all here for the salary. And then we go down the list, with training and development and environment factors. Of course, employee wellness is big these days, and many other buzzwords you will find. However, in the traditional sense, I'd like to share one point about the psychological contract, because the contract which we sign, the employment contract, is the physical one, but the psychological one is in the mind. And that's exactly where engagement takes place. So the way that definition has changed with evolving HR in the last 20 or 30 years, I can tell you, it used to be, if I look at one generation before, Gen X, I'm Gen X actually, so even before my generation, my father, for example, would spend an entire career with Saudi Aramco, for example. And he came to work, it was expected, the role was very clear, the company knew what the expectations were, the employee also knew what they had to do to perform well, and they would have the comfort level to know that they are getting paid fairly in the market according to their skills and level, and they would be promoted accordingly. So this was the traditional model. And they would retire one day and live happily ever after, as the story goes. Now, in the new definition, things have changed a lot. Now the psychological contract is more situational. So both the employer and the employee are less dependent upon each other for the relationship. It's more to do with what needs to be delivered, whether it's technical skill sets, leadership skill sets, depending on the role, that have to be accomplished as per, as you rightfully said, Duha, the JD. But I think at the same time, the responsibility is more on the employee to find meaningful work. That will be challenging enough. And that responsibility then needs to be conveyed to HR or management to allow for the development or training required to achieve those career goals. I think that's where the retention comes in, to be very honest, in the modern definition, in my opinion, because guess what, guys? This service can be taken elsewhere as well, right? So
yeah. Perfect. That's wonderful. Very great insight. And but I actually want to come to a second part of our topic, which is offboarding. Unfortunate reality there is that even once an employee can be offboarded, and even organizations are having larger offboarding processes right now because of either finances or anything that is coming up in the situation right now, which financials and economic situations are changing. So do I want to come to you and I want you to highlight the importance of the onboarding process, because most of the organizations are not really that much engaged in having a proper exit interview. So what are your operations like, and how do you think we should manage offboarding in an organization?
For me, again, human interaction is number one for me. Because to be honest, I don't like treating people as numbers, but I like treating them more human. Which is, I worked in a construction company and I work with a retail company as well. Sometimes we close like retail stores in some places, and in construction, for example, the project will come to an end. So what I like to be, first step is to be transparent, to do it in a very right way. For me, the employee will appreciate you approaching him and explaining the situation and explaining how the offboarding will be going through for future-wise. And then he will be much appreciated if we recognize. I usually recognize every offboarding unless he's like X or he did some harm to the company. It's different. Even this part, we do it professionally. But usually they appreciate how we approached him. Whatever support he need in our company power, we give. So he feel that we care, even in his offboarding. As well as I always tell him this, your voice is very important in the onboarding and in the offboarding. So exit interview for me, it's very, very important. Very important.
Perfect. And I think that's such an amazing advice that being an HR, because we are a bridge between the top management and the employees. So being transparent on both sides is actually wonderful. Yes, please, Doua, continue.
It's very important because we had the feedback, the company, as you mentioned, because we have this, the market now is very fast. And they want us to act as HR very quickly. You need to do this and offboard this group or whatever. But I try to make it as human as possible. And being transparent, they will understand. Transparency is the key. And believe me, they will. It's sad, of course, but they will understand. Then the exit interview will come. Then if we see something in the exit interview, we ask him that we might call you in the future.
Yes.
Of course, one of the most important, and I think he will agree with me, the benefit part in the offboarding. He need to have all his end of service documentation. Small things matter. We try not to delay his end of service, whatever document he needed. If he needed to travel, it's very important. Because unfortunately, some companies delay these things because they are not looking at it as a big thing. But for me, it's a big thing.
Perfect. So I know, Doua, you don't have much time. So I just going towards the very last minute to you. That what's your advice to the young HR professionals? How do you think they can create this seamless journey for their employees?
It's very important. Number one, it's okay to rely on technical or digital GHRS system, but at the same time, it's very important to have an open door policy and listen to all employees. And I would recommend any company to have this, what we call it, hotline or whistleblowing system or whatever system that he can reach to the HR. For me, you are the savior of this employee. The company become bigger, 5,000, 10,000 employees. So you need to be on things.
Perfect.
This is my advice. Be communicated and listen to the people. This is my advice. Big advice.
Wonderful. Doua, thank you so much for your insights. And I think that was such a wonderful advice that we need to maintain a balance between your tools and your human interaction. We cannot just leave everything to AI or these HRIS systems.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Doua, for your time. It was great having you, and everyone, see you in the next episode.
Thank you, Doua, once again. Yes, the human touch matters. Keep it up.
Yeah, it matters. Wallah. Thank you.
Ma salam.
Bye-bye.